Now, mining companies are cheating communities in mining areas. This is according to the 2022 social audit report by the organization Mining Affected Communities United in Action. The audit looked into several social projects undertaken by mining companies in Gauteng, Northwest, Limpopo and the Free State. Joining me now is the National Coordinator of Mining Affected Communities United in Action, Meshack Mbangula. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. Mining communities are seeing little or no benefit at all. What did your findings uncover?
Yeah, in all these provinces that we went, we did the social audit, which is led by the community themselves to audit the SLP, which is meant to uplift the life of people. There are plans and obligations that it's a law that they must uplift the life of the communities that are hosting them. But unfortunately, when we went there to do these audits, firstly we find that communities that are not even aware that there is something that's called social and labor plans, which is meant to address the historical disadvantaged people. But they don't, and SLP is a public document. And getting into the SLP themselves, it was difficult because they're reluctant to give this SLP for us to audit them. But we had to force them. And when we start doing the audits and what is in the SLP and physical verifications, we find that there's nothing most, there's nothing done for the people. And if it's there, it's not complete. And most of the time, there's non-compliance in all the provinces, the 5 provinces that we have, and the 10 social audit that we do. There was non-compliance at all. So that it means all the 5 years of that social and labor plan, communities did not benefit a thing from these mines. And the law is very weak in holding these communities, these multinational companies to account.
So whose fault is that? I mean, how the Minerals, Resources and Energy Department failing these communities with enforcing the laws? What needs to happen? What are they failing to do, which is quite obvious?
Firstly, we have the regulator, DMRE, right, and which is to hold these companies accountable to make sure that they comply. But they are very weak, that they are reluctant in holding these mines accountable. Mineral councils, we engage them to say if they have to make sure that any member that is in the mineral council, it's their duty to make sure that those companies are complying to the obligations in the SLP. But they are very reluctant as well to do that. Even when we have done a lot of, we've compiled a lot of evidence to give it to them to show that these mines are not complying. But because, DMRE, government, and multinational companies sleep in one bed, so it's very difficult for them to hold each other accountable. And over and above that, in South Africa, the issue of corruption is very high. So people are benefiting from these issues. So it's very difficult to really hold somebody accountable when you benefit from them. And which is, we see our communities, that is, they face the issue of structural, political, and economic, impediments, and which make them very much, unfortunate and unable to hold these companies to account.
SibanyeStillwater has been hogging the headlines over its refusal to give its workers a salary increment. Talk to us about what you found there when you looked into some of the projects that were being roped out.
Yeah, obviously, I would say it's close to 80% of non-compliance in Siban. And it was little that was done, especially when it comes to issues of promising them bursaries, basic adult education and everything. And nothing mostly was done with the so-called skill development and other things. So what we're saying is, if the mine especially can develop that skill development center, you must understand that these people will be having skills, not only mining skills, but will be able to be marketable in other sectors. So Sibanye did not do that exactly at all. And we still want to know what happened to that money, because there is money. Each and every project, it's attached with money, and nothing was done. So Sibanye, they're not interested in investing in people or lifting the life of people, but it's about them maximizing profits and give it to the shareholders. But nothing, it's about looting our minerals, maximizing profits, and do nothing.
Very well. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you for your time. Unfortunately, the line on your end is not sounding very good. Meshack Mbangula, the National Coordinator of Mining Affected Communities United in Action, talking to us about what the NGO has uncovered when it comes to the mining sector and the benefits that are not seen by community members.